a review,
Okay.
so they'll be a little bit late.
Alright,
What's going on, everybody? My name is Aaron Douglas. We're about to get started. We're going to keep it real today. I heard y'all a real group. You don't want to be lectured to. We're going to go like that, all right? Anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns before we begin? Anything going once, going twice? Not at all.
what time we out of here?
Man, look, that's going to be around 3. So I'm with you till 3. We're going to have a good time, though. We're going to start early. We're going to end early. So I'm going to get y'all out of here on a Friday. How y'all doing? Y'all good? Let's get started. So today, my good friends, we're going to be doing managing emotions under pressure. So when y'all see that, what's the first thing that comes to mind when y'all hear that? Managing emotions under pressure.
Well, we all get heated occasionally when we're under pressure.
Okay, so what does that mean? How do you act when you're heated? How do you act?
Oh, I thought we'd react differently. I'm sure I get grumpy. I'm sure if you ask Mike or they tell you that I'm a dick.
You're a dick, you're a dick. Anybody else is dick in here? I'm sometimes a dick, right? Let's keep it real, right?
Keep us till 3:15, you'll know.
No. That's hey, I'm not trying to say that today. Actually, we're gonna work on that today.
No,
We're gonna work on that's why we're here.
We're not waiting.
You may be here.
We're not waiting
Hey.
until 3:15. We're missing your lunch.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get some pizza. Should be so. Lunch should be good. Nah. So today, y'all, I'm really gonna have a conversation, a lot of discussion, a lot of activities down to earth. Not one of them guys to get a lecture, right? More personal than that. Got y'all logo up here. We're about to have some fun, right? Coming from prior, here to go ahead and train on it. So here we go. We're gonna go to the next slide. Let's go ahead. So today is the itinerary. It's supposed to start at 8, a little behind schedule. You know how it goes. 3 p.m. ending, get y'all out of here early. We got some 10-minute breaks in there, okay? Some 10-minute breaks in there. We're gonna give y'all a little break, right? Usually about 9, I'll stop at about 9, give y'all a little bit of break. 10 to 10:20, break, something like that. We got lunch 11:30 to 12:30, and the 2 p.m. break, and we're gonna get out of here at 3. We're gonna have a recap at 2:30. Then from there, we're gonna keep going. How y'all doing so far? You hanging in there with me? He's not feeling it. I know. I get it. Right? It's a Friday. All right, let's keep moving. So here's what we got, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. To start, we're gonna do something a little different. Okay, a little different today. We're gonna do a psychology test. My man here said he gets hot. I want to see more about that. So everybody, if you have your phone, could you pull your phone out for me? Laptop is okay too. And we got a link right here for you. Okay? The link, you go on there, it takes about 8 minutes to do. It's gonna tell you about yourself. It's not for me. Right? It's not for me, it's just for you. You're gonna go ahead and do the test for me, and what it's gonna do is gonna talk about these 4 things. Okay? 4 things. It's gonna talk about self-awareness, your self-management skills, your social awareness, and your relationship management. It's going to tell those 4 things about you individually, right? So it's not for me. Once again, I've taken the test. Pretty good. It gives you a good rating, right? It gives you a good rating. So go ahead. We're going to do about 8 minutes on the clock for that test. We're a little bit behind, but we'll go ahead and do 8 minutes on the clock. Y'all let me know when it's up and going. When y'all each have it on your phone. You're going to do it. You got your phone on you. You're just going to type the link in on maybe the Google app. And I'll wait till everybody get that up and going. Can't wait to see what they did. Interesting. I know they're hotheads. They're hotheads. I can see hotheads in them. I know they're hotheads, man. Well, icebreaker this morning. Oh, shoot.
Now we're screwed.
I got you back. You're not getting out of there today. No one getting out of there today. We're going to get these emotions under control. That's what we're here for. Get some water while y'all pull that up. Let me duck. I like this. I like to see you moving on the phone, active. Yeah.
Do you know, can I give a suggestion for
Go
next
ahead.
time?
Come on in.
Create a QRL code so they can just take a picture and they'll bring it right to the link.
You're right. I'm gonna be honest.
I
guys.
just took the picture, and with the new iPhones, you can click on it, and then hit go.
Nice.
I'm glad that you said that.
Just because it makes it easy for people that are not computer literate, they just take the picture and bring it right to that.
Yeah.
It's easy.
You're right. I'm gonna be honest too, guys. This link actually is not mine.
No.
This is actually like a leadership link. So yeah, I couldn't play with it.
Yeah.
But I found the link, guys. It's gonna tell you a lot about yourself, though, just about. So yeah, that's not my link, but it's a good little tip. Everybody got to pull it up. How we doing? You didn't get it? You want me to type it in there for? I even type it in there for you.
Everybody got it?
Nah.
It's too small writing.
GlobalLeadershipFoundation.com/GEIT/emotional intelligence test. Emotional intelligence. You got to pull up. How did it? You did it already?
I didn't do it yet. I just typed in local leadership and the link just popped right up.
Okay. Okay. So it's pretty easy to get to. Did you complete the test?
No, should I?
Yeah, you should start. You guys can start when you get in there too. It's only about 8 minutes. Shouldn't not long. It's literally like A B A B. Yeah, it's not long. It ain't nothing sophisticated. None of that. None of that. And I'm gonna probably start the timer in about 1 minute. So you got another minute to kind of log on in there. Let's set my alarm right here. Let me see. Let's go. And the timer starts now. 8 minutes, my friend. 8 minutes. For the question. Really easy, really easy. It's gonna be cool. See, I can't wait.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. Let's get there. About 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. Vermont. Really? It's okay.
Yeah.
I put those on that tonight. Okay. Okay. It's gonna. I'll be probably there evening time too. So. How much we got? How long we got? How long we got though? About 5 minutes left. Good to see y'all focused. Everybody out on the screen. I like that. I like that. They all focused in. I like that. We got a good group this morning. Good group. And guys, I'm gonna just say some light words as you guys finish up. About 4 minutes, something left. This test is really good, right? It's kind of for you to know, right? It's gonna dig deep within. I'm kind of gonna learn some stuff about yourself you may not have known before this test. So it's a good start for the day. After that, we're gonna kind of get to know each other a little bit and go from there. Learn about you all, make it personal, stuff like that. What are you thinking? I see you.
I think it's good.
I can see how you.
It's good.
I'm doing down to earth today, man.
Good.
So Jim, yesterday, you know, we down to earth. This is for short notice. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. How long we got left, my brother?
You just keep giving that seat away.
About 4 minutes on the clock. 4 minutes on the clock. Welcome in, welcome in.
Courtney.
Courtney, nice to meet you, Courtney. Down to earth today. It's gonna be a good day. It's a good Friday. About 3 minutes left on the clock, my brothers. 3 minutes left. Actually, let me see what they put in there. I didn't even take a look. Completed, huh? Okay. You be the first, you want to volunteer to be the first to talk about it, or? No? Had to ask, at least I had to ask
Really
you
good
first.
mind.
You first, somebody give me a volunteer somewhere, shoot.
What?
Throw me a ball somewhere, huh?
What am I doing?
Volunteering.
In a second, in a second, in a second, in a second. We almost done.
He's got it.
Yeah. We got about 2 minutes left. We got 90 seconds on the clock, 90 seconds on the clock. When I say, hey yo, we will put phones down and laptops. Hey yo is the word. $60 on the clock, 60 on the clock. That was 60 on it. We got some complete on my left. I like that. Still working on my right. Thirty seconds left. Complete. Good. We get some more completed. Like it. Learn some things, huh? What is up?
1 through 10.
So stuff I didn't know, some of the questions were like on the fence, you know?
Yeah. A little iffy, huh?
Yeah.
A little different. We're about to talk about it. Give me a
Yeah.
3,
1 through 10.
2.
And big.
Hey yo. That's it for us, people. Everybody, phones and laptops down. How we doing in the back left? You almost finished? Is he almost finished?
Yeah.
You almost finished, Anthony?
Oh, I'm done mine.
That's what I'm talking about. Everybody else just about complete?
Can I finish because I started late?
No.
You can continue on. We're gonna continue on. So you go ahead and continue on. Yeah. How we doing in the back? Completed?
Yep. Done.
Okay. Anybody volunteer? What did you think about it? How was that? What were you saying about it?
Some of the questions were like borderline for which answer.
Okay.
No.
How did you like the results though? When they brought up self-awareness and different things like that, was that accurate or what?
Yeah, it was on track with my perception.
Okay. You want to talk about your numbers at all, or you want to go into it? If you're comfortable, only if you're comfortable.
Yeah, I guess.
I know. Hey, let's get it. Guys, it's gonna be an emotional day. It's gonna be a little uncomfortable, right? But that's why we're here, right? We gotta work on that. So
Is
you
it
wanna-
too good?
Huh?
Is it too good?
Is what to?
Number
it's not that. It depends. We're gonna talk about that. But go ahead. What did you say?
I got a 7 for self-awareness.
Okay, tell me about that. Are you pretty self-aware? Explain, how you would rate your self-aware.
Yeah,
You pretty self-aware?
pretty self-aware.
Okay.
Self-awareness is what we're talking about. So.
In just general, or what did you get for some of your other numbers? What about self-management? How do you manage yourself just about?
Yeah, 9 for self-awareness.
Wow, that's pretty good. Wow, very okay. And what about relationship management?
I feel.
Wow. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about their numbers? Good numbers right
Not
there.
after him.
I know, yeah. Hey, you got enough. You got some numbers.
I got a
Like,
7, a
his
7,
numbers all-
a 9, and an 8.
Huh?
I got a 7, 7, 9, and an 8.
Wow, good numbers. Anybody just want to throw their numbers out there like that?
That's perfect. I'll work with you any day.
Nowhere near? Yeah, these guys, they're getting 7s and 9s and stuff. Anybody, how about my left, over here to the left? What we looking like? How the numbers look?
Most of them are good.
6, 6, 7, 3 and a half.
I get it. How you want to go? You want to talk about the numbers at all?
6, 7, 7, 7.
Good. Okay. So once again, guys, the goal of this is kind of to talk about, do a nice little introduction, self-awareness, self-management, see where we are before we begin. Right? Kind of can't solve the problems, kind of can't get deep into the emotions without kind of facing it, kind of know where they are to begin with. Okay. We all good on that? Anybody got any feedback if they want to talk about it? Everything's all good. Good. Okay. The next thing I want to do is kind of do a one-to-one introduction. Right? Say who I am and go around the room if y'all cool with that. So my name is Aaron Douglas. I'm a guy from Atlanta, Georgia, DeKalb County. So had very humble beginnings, like some of you. Not here with the fancy suit. Never got this talking from kind of just in business. So I didn't come from no fancy school. I didn't want to put all that out there to begin with. I know you get a lot of strangers that come in here and kind of talk down on you, kind of don't relate. Want to go ahead and face that up and early. I'm not that guy. I got into a lot of fights, and this is just who I am. I've grown to be this person today. And so I want to go around the room, kind of say fun fact, how you grew up maybe, and your name, and go ahead and introduce yourself. Let's start to my left. Anybody want to go over here to start?
I was born in Canada, actually.
Okay.
Moved when I was 7 years old in the U.S. and worked on the farm until I was 20 and then started construction.
Okay, good. Okay, next.
Grew up in New Hampshire and worked in construction.
Okay, I like that. That's real. Next.
Grew up in Waterbury, Vermont. Basically been in construction, wastewater.
Okay. Early on, you started in construction just about?
Yeah, I started in construction.
Okay. Anthony in the back.
I grew up in Vermont and the same. I've been in construction since I turned 17.
That's good, yeah. Wow. You really can. Go ahead.
Justin, I grew up in Montclair.
Fun fact. What's a fun fact? Something different, something cool, something. Yeah, you got something fun about you. You got something fun. Justin, come on now. What about you? Name and fun fact.
My name's Deacon.
Okay.
I was born in Berlin and grew up in Vermont. I started doing construction when I was a teenager. And a couple years ago, I decided to go back to school at Vermont Tech, and I'm working on my bachelor's in construction management.
Nice.
Bill, grew up in Moortown. Should have been a mechanic.
Wow, way to have a fun fact. Next up, what we got? Fun fact.
Courtney, I'm from Vermont.
Okay.
Went to college in Montana for a year, and I spent 5 years in DC before I came back to Vermont in construction.
Nation's capital. We like that. Next, what we got?
I'm Craig. Grew up right across the railroad tracks, actually.
Oh, walking distance, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, we close. We really close. The Vermont, huh? Go ahead, keep going. Got another fun fact, or is that it here?
Driving truck and working on stuff. John, grew up in Connecticut, been up here for 27 years. Pretty much just construction background from after college.
Okay. Construction background, okay. Well, that was really good. Nice to meet all of you. Well, let's go ahead and get personal. Let's keep moving on, right? So we had our nice introduction. Now, some things I want to talk about at the beginning is when we get the word emotion, a lot of people have a lot of different reactions to that. We was talking earlier, when you get hot-headed, just for lack of better words, kind of become a dick a little bit, right? I'm a dick. Most people are dicks. Let's keep it real when we get in that emotion. And the thing is, today, I want you guys to walk out of here with a better way to kind of handle for y'all.
I don't even have to get upset on the deck. I'm just
Well,
saying.
hey, what's it? That's what has personality a little bit, but hey, this is emotion, so what comes up, right? So we start cool like water usually, and then things, we either rise above sea level or we go beneath it. Is that safe to say? And so the goal of today, guys, I want you to know from the start, is to kind of tame that a little bit, right? So we can make some better choices, better decisions, understand situations a little bit better, okay? When people come to us in different ways, A lot of times we want to punch them in the face a little bit. I told you I had a history of doing that myself. And so today we're just trying to bring that down and come and find the middle water and understand why we feel that way. Okay? And that's what we're doing today. So we were testing on 4 things, right? In that test, we were testing on 4 things. Self-awareness, how aware are we, right? The core of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Now, what does it mean to be self-aware? What does that even mean? Self-awareness. Awareness. What does that mean? By a show of hands, what does self-awareness really mean?
I'll be right back.
Okay. What does self-awareness really mean? Any ideas, any thoughts? I know it's early in the morning, trying to get out of here. What does self-awareness mean? Any volunteer?
That we're aware of our faults and other things, you know.
I don't have any faults.
Okay.
No,
You're aware of it.
John playing, he started railing this morning.
We're aware of ourselves. I mean, we're aware of who we are and how we approach and do things. I mean,
Okay.
Billy's got a different aspect of doing things than the way I do, same as John, you know.
Okay.
But we're aware of how we approach it and how we're gonna, like, we come in, I'm sure that you guys all come in the same, different projects with the same mindset each time, of how you wanna approach it and how you wanna end it.
Start
Okay.
and finish. Maybe in the middle. Kind of word, yeah.
Okay. So good. That was good. So when y'all handle projects, now I was told that you all also are working on projects today. So let's get into it, right? So when you're approaching a project, right, and you know it's heavy duty, it's a little bit tough, a little bit stressful. What's some of the first things that kind of come to mind, come up, right?
Smoke pot. Mellow yourself out.
Well, although I'm familiar, but this is not that conversation. So what's something?
That was a joke, I'll person a company talk.
We'll keep it real, guys. That's how long we gonna connect. So projects ready to come up in emotion, right? Your project managers say, hey, right, deadlines are this, right? Intensity level is that. How do you guys currently manage that? How are you guys currently managing stressful projects right now as project managers yourself? How do you manage? Right?
Alcohol.
Huh?
Alcohol.
Okay, a little bit drinking, I get it. What else? Anything else? He likes this. What else? How are we managing stress?
Usually there's team meetings that go on where people hash it out and there's disagreements.
Okay, team meetings coming to the consensus in the middle. Okay. Anybody else? How are we handling stress on the daily? How are we currently doing it?
Day at a time.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I take that deep breath, step by step, every day, next day.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All the time. Okay. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. This is gonna be interesting. Self-management. Some things that come up in self-management, my friends. We have self-control, right? Self-control, knowing right before we punch them, take a step back. You know, that's big, right? I know in construction. Now my mom, as a matter of fact, she's a project manager with QM3 Solutions. They do, I believe, like water piping. So I'm familiar with construction just a tad bit. So I understand that, and I almost did it myself. I almost got into it with a guy, right? So I understand self-control with these guys, right? Sometimes you don't agree on the same thing, right? Sometimes you're looking at throwing a blow. I get it, right? We're working on self-management today. A little bit of self-control. Transparency, right? I believe today, me and John connected earlier. Hey, we're being real, right? The goal of today is to be real and be transparent. I'm not here to sell no dream or to be some different professional, right? I'm here to be transparent. We're going to talk about that later as well. That's with our emotions as well. Adaptability. That's a big one. Adapting, right? We're going to get into change later too. But adaptability. When y'all hear adaptability, what comes to mind? Adapting. What does that even mean? What's adapt?
Able to make changes at a moment's time.
How's that going for you currently?
Good.
Pretty good. You can switch pretty instantly and be up to par with your emotions, you said? Anybody else want to speak on adaptability? How they feel adapting to things thrown their way, things thrown their different way on projects, maybe uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable conversation, right? Anybody have those and want to talk about that a little bit? No show.
Hey, my wife's my dispatcher.
Yeah, you have.
He has the situation there. Anybody want to bring up how it is adapting, how they handle change? Once again, there's no right or wrong answer.
Trying to be fluid and flexible because there's often people have different ideas about how things are supposed to go.
Okay.
You gotta kind of meet in the middle of what's happening because not always gonna get your way.
Okay. Well, when it doesn't go your way, right? How do you handle that? We're gonna get deep today, guys. I'm coming beneath the surface. That's what I'm hearing.
Punch people in the face, right?
All right. We talked about it, right? Kind of squaring up, right? Right. So, okay, we're gonna prevent that. But That's the goal, okay? So we got transparency, adaptability, adapting, right? When our emotions are haywire, when things don't go our way, coming to one moment, right? Coming down, like Bruce Lee says, be like water, right? Bruce Lee, everybody familiar with Bruce Lee? Anybody? Bruce Lee, yeah. So we want to be like water. Initiative, taking the initiative, right? We're going to come back to that later. Now, socially aware. Here we go, here we go. So now we're going to talk about empathy. So empathy, right? Now I know I'm talking to my blue nose workers here, my blue collar guys, right? Strong, solid guys. But how empathy? What's some feedback on empathy? Courtney, you want to talk about empathy at all? Anybody? No, not you. No.
She has the least empathy of any.
I feel like I'm the worst out of everybody.
He said, yeah. What? I didn't know Courtney come in. Okay. Anybody else? Empathy. You want to talk about empathy? What does empathy mean to you? When you hear the word, what comes to mind?
You got to be able to level with. There may be things outside of, we talk about things going outside of work that might be affecting somebody's at work, and being able to identify with that or connect to that person. There might be other things going on.
Right. I have a question. You guys have team members under you all, right? Like you guys are project managers, correct? Yeah.
Some
okay.
Depends on the day.
Depends on that. Gotcha. Well, yeah, that was a really good point. Empathy, understanding people come to work. People have hard times, outside of work, right? It sometimes comes into the day. Courtney's looking at me like, what? But she looking at me like, what? But the thing is, the point is empathetic. We're gonna talk about empathetic listening later, guys, and that's really gonna help a lot of rapport building and help emotions stay at ease. So we're gonna get into that later, but that's empathy. Next thing we're gonna talk about is service orientation, right? Service orientation, right? Orienting how we serve others and meeting people where they are. That's what that means, right? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk, how do we make decisions? Right? I actually have a question. How do we make decisions on the daily? Some people say that when it comes down to buying and selling, we make decisions emotionally. Would anybody agree with that by show of hands? Yeah? You agree with that? So we're going to talk about how we make decisions today. How we impulsion, right? Impulsive. Somebody's coming at us. Are we hitting them? Are we fighting? Are we flighting? That's a psychology term we're going to get into later as well. Next thing we're going with now is relationship management, feedback and guidance. As project managers, I'm quite sure you guys know a lot about giving feedback and being a guide to others. So we're going to talk about that later as well. We're going to talk about influence or persuasion. Who considers themselves very persuasive in here today? Anybody? Well, I said not persuasive, kind of. You're persuasive. You're looking at me with a smirk. You got some persuasion. Anybody else got some persuasive traits or has a lot of influence or knows how to get their way a lot? Anybody?
I think if we didn't work in the industry we work in, we'd all be fairly persuasive, but
Okay.
the construction industry has a lot of very hard-headed people.
Okay. So very hard. People, Courtney, you got to smile on that. I like that. I'm observing. So next thing is listening. Listening, who considers themselves a solid listener? Anybody has some really good listening? Pretty empathetic listening, pretty solid. Cool. Let's move on, right? Boom. Now I got a quote up here, and I'm gonna have a volunteer go ahead and read it for me. Okay, someone wanna give that a read for me? I'm not show of hands, anybody wanna take a read? I'm not here to preach, we all gonna engage. It's a discussion today, it's a discussion. But anybody wanna get a chance to read? Who's you gonna read?
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
You guys
It's very
are
simple. It's just a conversation day, right? I know y'all don't want to be here. I get it. We're just gonna read today. You're gonna chill out and talk.
You have the wrong guy reading it, but I'll take it.
Hey, you gotta take your volunteers as you get them. You gotta take them as you get them. Go ahead.
People spend billions of dollars every year buying self-help and motivational tapes, videos, books, joining health clubs and diet programs, seeing doctors and therapists, and hiring life coaches and business consultants, and yet so often they fail to realize their goals. The reason isn't that they don't want to change or can't change, but rather that they don't understand change or have the right tools to effect it.
So one thing I want to say on that, we're going to stay here a little bit as well. We're going to have a conversation about that. So change, right? We talked about emotions. When we hear emotions, we hear a lot of change, right? Sometimes an external factor comes in, causes us to be a little angry, right? Sometimes something comes in, get a little sad. Today I want to talk about change, right? Change. So as you see, it says people spend billions every year, every day, just to invoke not understanding change. People go to different classes, they go to consultants, life coaches, personal coaches. Is that something y'all heard of before? Maybe not. Is it common in the construction industry a little bit? Life coaches? Yeah, it's common, right? So just because they don't understand change. Who feels like they understand change or has an idea of what change actually is? Anybody want to speak on that a little bit? It's a conversation. Change. What change? When you hear change, what is that? What is that? Change. Change.
Conscious effort to do something different.
Okay. Conscious effort to do something different. So do the action, right? So something externally comes in where we have to act differently. Is that what I heard?
It doesn't have to be external. I mean, you can be internally motivated for change as well.
I love that. I love that. So internal or external, something comes in where we have to do something different. So action. Anybody else? Change. Any ideas?
Modify habits.
Modify habits. That was good. Wow, that was really good. Habits. We're gonna talk about habits as well in just a second. Anybody else? Maybe one more. Give me one more. Something that when you hear the word change, something that comes up. Change. Good.
Awesome.
Wow, yeah, pretty good. They said that was pretty smart too. Wow. Constant change. That's true. So habits, modifying habits, external and internal actions that lead to different results, and something that's constant. That's pretty solid. So those are all things of change, right? And so change is, a lot of people, you know, it's interesting. I talk to a lot of groups on this right here, and they don't even understand change, right? The goal is to understand change so we can maintain it and balance it and tame it. Is that safe to say? Everybody good on that? Okay. Any feedback or questions on this right here? Any thoughts, any words, any energy building up on this? Oh yeah, give you a second to read. I know you just came in. We did a nice little quote by Alan Dutchman talking about change and understanding it. Right? Right. They don't understand change and have the right tools to affect it. Now I have a question, guys. We talked about habits. Internal, external actions needed to be taking place. Right? When it comes down to understand having the right tools to affect it. Right, so there's two things that I highlighted today, y'all. And the first one was understanding. The second one was having the right tools to affect it. What are they talking about? What is that? Tools to affect change. John, you know any tools to affect change?
No, I'm just reading another kicking the balls email, sorry.
You're good, you're good. Yeah, I like to keep us engaged, so I may call on you when I get the name, so let's stay engaged. What about tools to affect change? What do they mean when they say that? Any tools? Meaning, what do we take on our waist, on our belt buckle, to attack the day where we're making the best conscious decisions when things go up and down? That's a more simple way to put it. So what do they mean when they say have the right tools to affect change?
Having the right mindset.
Bingo. You came in firing. Having the right mindset. Wow, way to hit it.
Willpower.
Willpower. So this is filling up the belt, right? We have mindset on this side. We have willpower on this side. Anybody else? Maybe a tool or idea when you hear tools for change? Any thoughts? We got mindset, right? Have the right mindset, willpower. Okay, anything else? Give me like 3 here. I just need one more. He's thinking. Hey, there's no right or wrong answer. There's no need to be afraid to speak out and say what you want. Yeah, I'm not that guy. You can just go ahead and say it. Right tools that affect change. Mindset, willpower. Do you need to be focused at all when change comes? Is that, how about awareness? Something like that? Consciousness, self-awareness.
End goal.
Ooh. I like how you think. End goal. I like that.
That's good power.
That was good. He came in with a good one at the end. Good, so nice. And those are all good tools that we have on our belt when change comes so that we can balance our emotions, right? That was a good answer, by the way. So let's keep going. Boom, so I have an activity, guys. And this activity is literally, I can go ahead and tell you the goal. The goal of this activity is to stir up some emotion. Now, you're gonna hear two different things on 2 different YouTube videos. One of them is when I was driving here, I saw some nice river flow. It was nice water flow. So it's gonna be something calming, something that keeps you peaceful, something that keeps you at ease, right? Then there's another video. In that video, I'm really gonna enjoy it. It's a little bit of sound, and it's gonna be loud and erratic, right? The goal there is to kind of stir up some emotion in you a little bit. Okay, stir up some emotion a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and play both. I'm probably gonna start with the easy one to keep you nice and calm and see how you act when I go to the high one. Everybody ready for that? Here we go. Let's minimize that. I need to, is it? It's good. Right here. gonna sit with this for about 20 seconds. And by the way, before I begin, let's do this. I just thought about it. Before we begin, let's do this right here. Everybody, go ahead and close your eyes for me. I know it's early. Close your eyes. Everybody gonna close their eyes and we're gonna just listen. Let's just listen. Hey, hey, my sleepy fellas on the dog, hey, we ain't going to sleep. We got about 15 seconds. Just kind of feel that. Good. Calm me, smooth. Any words? What words come to mind when you hear that peaceful flow? Right, eyes closed, sitting back on the porch. What comes to mind when you hear that? What are you feeling?
Relax.
Bingo. It's actually the name of the video. Good, so good. Oh no, you're on the money. What else comes to mind when you hear that flow there? When you go in and feel that, what comes to mind?
I gotta pee.
Okay. Wow, that was because you listen to water, right? I get that, Gordy. Yeah. Anybody else? When you hear that, what comes to mind?
Everything going
Smoothly. So smoothly flow and pee. Top 3. So what else we have? Give me like 2 more options. When you hear that and you're at ease, your mind is closed, eyes closed. Fluid, relaxing. Bingo. So we got 2 relaxings on there. 2 relax. Okay. Now this one next, guys. A little bit different. I'm not gonna say it's super duper scary. I'm not saying it's super duper loud, but it is different. And I want to have you all close your eyes one more time, and we're gonna feel what we feel here. So here we go. Here we go. Keep your eyes closed. Keep them closed. Just feel that. If you heard this at your house, if you heard this in the grocery store. Five more seconds. Anybody, go ahead and open your eyes.
The root of all problems, phones.
Okay, he said every morning. Every morning, man. What else? When you heard that, what is that? How did you feel? What did you think? What's the first thing that you thought about?
Anxious, gotta move.
Anxious. How we doing? You want to go. He's ready to go. So yielding, fight or flight. You heard that. And something that you say, I want to go, you wanted to react. That was the action you chose. Anxious is how you felt. Something a little bit jittery, right? Anybody else? Give me 2 more words.
Moonlight vacuum.
Huh?
Moonlight vacuum.
Yeah. You said, yeah, that's right. We don't want that, man. I know, you know.
This is ear, please, Ron.
Hey, give me 1 more word. I want somebody from the back. Maybe 1 word what did that instill in you? What action? What did you think about? Alerted, anger, danger.
Annoyed.
That's actually the word of the video.
Busy.
Annoyed.
Annoyed. That's a good one. That's an emotion. I didn't think that was gonna come up. I tried to cut the time in. But good, so those were 2 emotions, right? We started with the soft one and the high one, and we're here to balance that today. Let's keep moving. Alright? So let me go back, almost past it. So the human behavior model, guys, is kind of how we move, how we are, right? How the body flows, right? How the body flows. To begin the human behavior model, guys, the first word I see at the top is stimulus. That's what we were talking earlier, that internal and external thing, right? Either something from within, right? Before work, bringing that to work, like we talked about earlier. Maybe something on the outside. Maybe this breaking, right? This equipment not working. Those are things that can alter our emotions. Is that safe to say? Anybody want to give an example of maybe something that's a stimulus that happens on the day-to-day as a project manager or an employee that can alter your emotion day-to-day, something that usually happens or something that causes you to immediately move different, act different, emotion to jump, anything that happens out here. I see you got the big trucks out there. Is something usually going wrong? Is something, what's going on?
Everything's broke.
Everything's broke, so that causes you to be a little bit frustrated, right? I get it, I mean, let's talk, right? Everything's broke, so you like, I can't get the job done, right? Because everything's broke. Anybody else? What's the stimulus?
Fixed.
Yeah.
He's a mechanic.
Yeah.
So he's got to fix it.
So he's got to fix it. So he's like, oh man, right? So the broken stuff makes you, fuck, right? So give me one other thing. What's the cause to the effect, right? The effect is the emotion that we're working on today, but we can't get there yet without understanding the cause. What's the cause? Internal or external?
So this dude was just saying that another kick in the balls email. Disappointment.
Yeah, kicking the balls, emails can do it. When you get those messages, they make you react a little different.
And I think people's behavior or their own, I guess, for example, somebody can then just be negative to start with. You know?
Okay.
Would be a triggering effect for me.
That's right. That's right. You
No, not you. You're the
He says,
least of
sorry.
my-
Nah, it's all good. It happens. Let me like two more. Right? So what's some stimulus that you encounter on the daily? It doesn't have to be too personal, or it can. That causes your emotions to kind of switch.
Pike screwing up their traffic control outside of the building here.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Got one more stimulus. What's happening? What's happening?
A sick kid.
Absolutely. Although I don't have one, my brothers and taking care of those at a young age, I understand that how I'm trying to go to school, right? And my brother's sick, so now I gotta find a way. I can't get on the bus. So I understand. Anybody else want to throw one more out there with that? Sick kid, maybe. Sick dog, gotta go to the vet. Is that's common, standard?
You have a caffeine addiction and you haven't had any caffeine, it can be a negative stimulus.
Sure.
Tobacco.
Yeah, China with that.
Not good. Down to 3 cigarettes and no trees.
Anybody? Okay, good. So that was a good lesson. So let's keep it going. Those are all stimulus. They trigger things, right? A guy triggering things. What is that? External, right? External. We need to handle that internally. One thing I want to tell you too, guys. This is not on here, and this is what I was thinking about last night. I was like, man, I'm kind of gonna tell these guys, get a little personal. I was like that. The goal is to kind of keep the external, and the internal a little bit, right? Is that safe to say? So things outside, so that they don't affect our inside, we balance that, right? That's what we're doing today, is trying to balance that. We started with an alarm, kind of like anxious, jittery, frustrated, gotta run, in your case, right? The goal is to let that alarm kind of go off, and we kind of sit at peace knowing everything's in line with ourselves, okay? That's what we're here to do today. Boom, let's go to the next thing, guys. I talked to a lot of people, different areas, different, here we're in the north, I live in the south, and I travel to the west. And they have different perspectives, different perceptions, how they perceive things, right? How you perceive my shirt, I thought it was blue collar for my blue collar brothers. That's actually why I wore it. But how you perceive the blue is different than how I would see the blue, right? I actually wore blue for you, right? Y'all, so perceptions, how you perceive things is how your emotions can go up or down, right? How you perceive that alarm told you fight or flight, yes? Just about. Obstacles, something surprising, expectations. So I have a question, guys, just to get a little personal. What expectations does your boss kind of put on you guys today, right? Kind of expect you on time, work done, standard stuff like that, just about. Anybody want to give an example of a couple other expectations that kind of could influence your emotion?
I don't feel like my boss expects anything. He doesn't call me, he doesn't communicate with me. He goes, you're on your own.
I'm feeling some really direct feedback.
It's direct feedback. I said direct feedback.
You want to know what Larry's feedback to me this morning was?
Same thing.
Amount of time to get answers back to superintendent and return calls.
Okay, what you got? You said something.
No, that was the same thing I just told him.
Okay. So those things too, guys, can affect our perceptions, how we perceive things, right? So now he's got work to do, and how he perceives his day and how he goes about it is a little bit different. Next thing I want to talk about is how we interpret things. Now this is deep, guys. Honestly, what I feel is that a lot of people's actions yield from their belief system. Is that just about right? Your actions yield from what you believe. You believe in taking care of your family, so what do you go to work and provide? Safe to say, right? So belief system, and these are what we call interpretation. Anybody, not to get too specific, but anybody maybe want to talk about a general belief system here at the job, right? Maybe y'all believe in showing up on work every day so everybody has a team meeting, like we talked about, right? Anybody else have another belief system here at the job that's more or less company policy, company flow? Belief system. What do you all believe here? What's some of your mottos or mantras? What do we have?
Fostering relationships.
Fostering relationships, bingo. What we got? Give me a couple more.
Accountability.
Fostering relationships here, really good. Accountability. Give me one more. One more. Integrity, right? Fostering relationships, accountability, and integrity. Really good three. Kingsbury. Good job. Emotions. Psychological, fight or flight, right? Sensations, how we feel. Pleasures, right? Different pleasures, things like that. Drinking is a good pleasure. Feelings, how we feel things. Those are all emotions and behaviors, right? Now, these are the things we're here to change today, and this is what I'm spending a lot of time on. is our behaviors and our actions. That's gonna be fun. Verbal and behavioral responses. So anybody, what's a verbal response that kind of invokes some change? What's a verbal response? What's something verbal? Fuck you, right? That's verbal. Didn't think I was gonna go. I'm one of those guys.
I'm going on now.
So fuck you. What's another? Give me two more verbal responses. That's like, fuck, man. It kind of makes you like something negative or positive will work. What's a verbal response? Fuck you. Get to work. You're late. Things like that. Should have been done. Where's the document? Huh?
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Like fuck, right? Anyone, give me one more out there. What's one more verbal response that kind of invokes us every day? Verbal response. What's a verbal response? Give me something verbal.
What'd you do?
Good one. That's a good one though. What'd you do?
That makes someone think.
It does. It does. It does. So these are our human behavior models: stimulus, perceptions, interpretations, emotions, and behavior. Solid. Let's keep moving. Boom. Got another quote for us. We're gonna talk about. This is a discussion quote, though, guys. So this is something I want to start talking about. Who wants to read? By a show of hands. Anybody? Going one? All right.
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
In every moment, you are a devotee.
Okay.
In every moment, you devote your life to something. You do so via your awareness. Your awareness can lead you, or you can lead it, and that choice is with you here and now.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read that in the bottom one with you. It says your awareness can lead you. So your awareness can lead you, or you can lead it. Your awareness can lead you, or you can lead it. What does that mean? What is that? Your awareness can lead you, or you can lead it. It didn't say your choice, right? It didn't say your behavior. It didn't say your act. It said awareness. What does that mean? Your awareness can lead you, or you can lead it.
You can take control, or it's gonna let you go.
Control of what?
Your emotions.
Your emotions.
There we go. We're getting deep. Go ahead.
Be reactive or proactive.
Ooh. I like that. Anybody else? Give me one more. Give me one more. Give me something deep here. Your awareness can lead you. How you internalize it can lead you.
So your lack of awareness.
Bingo. Give me something else. You want to talk about it more? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I didn't really have much more to say.
Okay. Anybody got one more for me? So your awareness can lead you, or you can lead it. Give me one more. Give me one more. What does that mean? Lead you, or you. How do we lead? How do we do that?
Your actions.
Our actions.
If we lack awareness, we're going to continuously be put into situations that we don't want to necessarily be in, as opposed to if we gain some awareness and gain some knowledge, we can avoid those situations or place those situations at times where we would rather deal with them rather than when they come up.
I got a question, guys. I got a question, and that was a good answer, by the way. I got a question, guys. When you hear awareness, some things I hear senses. Talking about external and internal responses, senses. How we hear things. What are we seeing? How we see. Give me some other things. What are the other senses that kind of are common? How we feel, right? That equipment, my mechanic right there, that equipment's broke. What's broken is going to determine how you're emotional, how you fix it, or if you're more frustrated, less frustrated, how long it takes to fix. He's smiling. I know. Valvoline was, I worked at Valvoline a little bit and working on those cars. Had me feeling different ways on different days, okay? So anybody else want to talk about how the senses play a role in our awareness? Senses, what we see. Are we jittery? What we heard this morning through our listening sense may trigger a jittery emotion, a little bit of anxiety, right? We talked about the left. So those are our senses, okay? That's what I want to talk about there. That's another training, a really good training. They talked about that as well. How our awareness, either we control that, so how do we control our awareness, meaning our senses? How can we control our senses? Control your senses. What is that? Control your senses. How can we control what we hear if we can't close our ears? Walk off. Good one. Great one. Great one. Got me out of my trouble as a young man myself. Anybody else got another one? How do you control your senses if you can't? So we can't we can't close our ears. So we walk off. Can we control what we see? Closing them. Maybe, right? How about feel? Go ahead. I seem like you want to say something. You got anything on your mind? Because this is a discussion day, guys.
Yeah, but you notice things coming up, you can start to identify
What's a problem that comes up that you identify often on the job? That is
Insubordination.
Yes.
solid. Every seem like you felt that. Everybody felt that throughout the court. You felt that a little bit, Quentin. Did you feel that? Insubordination. You understand it a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? You got another one out there? What's something that comes up on the job where your senses kind of are more alert? What is that? Insubordination was one. Give me two more.
We're all attuned to when you hear a backup alarm. Look where the backup alarm's coming from.
Okay. Solid. Alarm. So what senses did we use there to attune ourselves to that alarm? Listening, I'm sure. Mentally, right? You know what's crazy? They actually don't say mentally that's like a sense, but honestly, I think that's the biggest sense, personally. Because mentally, that's going to determine how we react, right? That's all internal, right? And we control this here, guys. As you already know, we control our actions better. We make better daily choices. We're better men and women for our families.
Troubleshooting is a sense, right? I mean,
There you go.
That's how you walk through this process.
There you go. Troubleshooting. How do we troubleshoot? How do you all troubleshoot on the daily? How do we troubleshoot? How do we solve problems? How do we troubleshoot?
You look at it, find the answers for the problem, Look, listen,
Okay. Good. I wanted to stay there and touch upon that. So that's good. Let's move on, guys. Those are great answers. Really great answers. Right? Let's keep moving. Now, the goal here is to expand your perception. This is going to be good, boy. This is going to be good. Let's keep going. Let me get it all on the screen first. Is it one more? No, that's it. Let's go back one. Boom. So the goal of this exercise, guys, is to understand perception and to expand. So this perception, how we perceive things. What does perception mean to you? Let me get two answers. Right? What does perception mean to you? Perception. What is that? What is that? Perception.
How you see something.
How you see something. With your eyes or with your mind?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, your lens.
Your lens. Explain that. Lens, not, of course not physical, right? Or maybe.
No, I mean, it can be visual, like the filter, the way that you're looking at things.
And we're filtering with our mind, right? Okay, okay. Anybody else? How we perceive things. What does that mean? Perception. How I perceive something different than you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, Billy might see something, and I talk to Billy a lot on different things when we see each other, and he might look at things in a different outlook that I do, And by hearing his perspective, you might see a different view.
Okay.
Because you're viewing it with a different set of eyes.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I want to talk about that. So when we have different perceptions to avoid conflict, how do we typically do that, right? We were talking about avoiding conflict earlier. Perception, how we perceive things. You and I perceive something different. How do we find a middle ground, right? How do you all typically do that on the daily? This is actually like a question for feedback. Like, how are you guys finding a middle ground on the daily? When you and I, right, you tell me to go do, let's say I'm your employee, you tell me to go do something that I have a different perception, well, don't fire me. But if you tell me to do something and we have a different perception, or you say do it this way and I say this way, how are you guys on the daily kind of finding a middle ground? Or do you find a middle ground? Troubleshooting. Maybe I say troubleshoot like this, you said troubleshoot like that. How are we? The goal of today is to get deep, so let's get deep.
I had this same issue the other day. My guys were viewing something differently than I did.
Okay.
And I kept telling them how I wanted it done, and they kept doing it their way. And finally, I told one of the guys to get out of the hole, and I hopped down there myself and showed them what I was talking about. And after I did that, they viewed what I was telling them and realized that what I was telling them was an easier way than what they were trying to do it.
Wonderful. So you did the action. So you say, you know what? This stimulus is happening. They're not really doing it my way. Let me go ahead and get in the hole and show them so that we can come to a middle ground. So you did it through experience and action.
Yes.
Good job. And leading the way. Good job. Good job. Anybody else? When you don't, and this could be at home, this could be grocery store, when something doesn't align, how are you guys coming to a middle ground currently? Grocery store, on the road rage a little bit. How are you guys coming to a middle ground with that? Leaving it alone, kind of saying F you back. How are we doing that currently? How are we managing and getting a middle ground with people, coming to the center? Any thoughts?
It's not recent anymore. A year ago, when I came to Kingsbury, I came from more hands-on in the field position to more, I'm 90% in the office, and for me over the last years, I step back and let people do it their way, because as opposed to me being out in the field and saying how it's going to go, and then afterwards you review and you take the goods from what you did in the past and the goods from what happened this time, and hopefully everybody walks over to the next time you're in that situation. It's better on both ways. So.
Right on. So you do a reflection. So he did a leadership action, right? In his scenario, you did a reflection in that moment, though. So reflecting is what, guys? It's looking back. So we're past the moment, but we're looking at in the moment emotion here. How to balance that. So when you're in the moment, in that exact situation, how did you balance that? Right? You looked back later, but in that moment, how did you handle that situation? Kind of reacted. You reacted. Maybe. Did you react?
I mean, so like I said, I used to be on a job site full time, and now I'm not, and so I don't always have my eyes specifically on it, and so learning the trust factor of what somebody else is telling you and letting them take care of it has been something that I've had to work on, and it's hard to get to hand off the keys or whatever to somebody else type thing. So
Thanks, appreciate that.
yeah.
And going right from there, right? It's difficult, right? Big cracky joke. So at every moment you choose what to focus on, right? We're choosing what to focus on. So right now we're choosing maybe to focus on the email, or right now we may be choosing to focus on social media, or we may be choosing to focus on different things, right? So every moment we actually choose what we focus on, right? So here today we can choose to focus on this, make a change, be better leaders and family men, or we could choose to kind of be distracted. We could choose to want to be here. We could choose to have a beer at 6:30, or we could choose to kind of not, right? Had a little background on you. They kind of spilled the beans, so I'm going to go direct. But we could choose these things to do, right? We could choose to pay attention or choose not. So the goal today is to expand our focus, right? What are we focusing on? What are we aware of? What do we perceive, right? Stop. This nigga got just, you got symptoms. In 3 minutes. 3 minutes, there's gonna be a break. You're so good. In 3 minutes, there's gonna be a break. We started late. Give me this piece. And we're gonna expand the focus here.
He's focused on the
He focused on the break and the lunch break. So, hey, I got a question. Speaking on that, looking at time, right? How efficiently we do things, right? I see how I went there. If you're gonna bring it up, let's bring it up. So how we manage our time is how we perceive this moment. I hope you stay these last 2 minutes and focus with me. Although you're focusing on the time, let me go back one. Cool, so expand our focus. So the goal, guys, 3 things. What we want to do before this break, we want to shift our focus. Right, let's lock in here when we come back after break. We want to focus on shift it from what's going on inside to what's going outside. So we stay calm inside, we'll never react badly outside. That's the goal of today. Right, at least to bring awareness to that. Expand our focus next. We want to ask ourselves, what's missing from this picture? Right? We need to troubleshoot that. Am I aware? Am I focusing? What am I not seeing? So instead of locking in here, maybe, that affected that. Right? So we need to expand our awareness, expand our focus, solve more problems. Right? We need to ask ourselves and actively seek out different perspectives. So the same way I was looking at that box and I'm like, man, we got to fix it, right? What else am I missing? Am I perceiving that box right? Actually, we're going to do a perception exercise in a little bit where we're actually going to move the tables and get in a circle. We're actually going to have different perceptions of the object in the middle. And for that reason, it's going to help you all on the daily learn how to troubleshoot different problems from different angles, just from one, like physically being in one place, and mentally observing things from a different perspective. I believe we got a couple minutes left. Any questions so far from the first half of the day, for the first kind of order of the day? Any questions? Any thoughts? Anything like that? Okay, guys, I'll give you 2 minutes back. We got a break. We got about a 10-minute break, 11-minute break at this point. So you guys can go to the restroom, sit here, everything's cool. How y'all like the first hour? Pretty solid? Cool. I'm gonna do your thing. Be back here at 9:20, my fellas. 9:20. Oh yeah, I'm slide by. Mechanic, I'm slide by.